Hey guys, I wanted to talk about Married to Medicine Reunion Part 1. So I wanted to start out by saying number one, all the ladies look really good. I mean, their dresses fit nice. They're very colorful. I think everybody looks really good. And of course, Andy is being a mess like he normally is. Of course, he's already getting things started. We are literally 1 minute into the reunion, and he is, asking Sweet Tea, are you going to be spilling tea, or are you going to, what's going on? And so, Sweet Tea actually had given everybody quote unquote words of affirmations, but she has definitely hinted around to the fact that Miss Heavenly has not been so kind to her over the past year since they have filmed. She's been really messy, but we know Heavenly. That's what she do. She's gonna be messy. One of the first questions that was asked was really of Phaedra. I don't know if you guys remember, but in the beginning of the season, when Phaedra was first introduced on the show, her and Quad was really tight. They were coming into events together. They were bringing each other. If one wasn't invited, the other one would bring that person. So one of the questions that was asked was, "Okay, we see in the beginning you two are really close. What happened?" So they are actually referencing the scene in the show where they were all going to the vineyards, and Phaedra had switched her flight so that she would not be on the flight with Quad. And so, as Phaedra is addressing this, she's just saying that, she knows that Toya didn't get along with Quad. So Phaedra, in her mind, was like, well, I don't want to bring Quad. And Quad is saying, that was really hurtful because Phaedra really lied to Quad and said, that she was at the pharmacy. She thought that she had missed her flight and all of this stuff. Anyway, Phaedra was not honest with Quad when all of this was going down. To me, Toya is just because Toya does not like Quad. Toya is gonna say whatever against Quad that she can. She was saying that Phaedra what didn't told her that she didn't want to ride, fly with Quad. As they are continuing to talk, we can definitely see these ladies are coming in hot. They are coming in hot. I mean, we can really see that Sweet Tea, Toya, and Simone got a problem with Quad. Quad got a problem with, Heavenly, and maybe a little problem with Phaedra, but not really. But Simone, Toya, and Sweet Tea, all three of them, they ready for some action. So now they are talking about whether or not Phaedra dated Dr. Greg. He had actually told Quad that he did date Phaedra, but he stopped dating her because she had asked for $4,000 a month and he was not into that, so they no longer dated. Sweet Tea was told the same thing, but Phaedra is denying it. Once again, Heavenly is saying that Phaedra can't tell the truth to save her life. So at this point, it seems like the ladies have calmed down quite a bit because when I tell you all of the ladies were going back and forth and back, except of course Dr. Jackie, she has not said a word just yet. But the ladies have calmed down at this point. And the focus is now on Toya and her relationship with Eugene and everything that has transpired through the year. And really starting from last season where they kind of ended um, on a low note, and how they were able to turn around their relationship with Toya starting her wine club, and also Dr. Eugene stepping up a little bit as far as Toya is concerned, because one of the things that she was talking about early on was the romance not being there. So we could see in this season that Dr. Eugene really was trying. I mean, he was trying different things to bring the romance back into the relationship. So as they are talking to Toya, Andy brings up the Med Gala and the whole situation around Toya donating cases of wine to the event, and the ladies still asking for the $1,000, and Toya not supplying that. So Andy is saying, "Hey, that's the question. Do you think you should have paid the money as well? And Toya said no. So she is explaining the way her wine club works. She's only allotted a certain number of cases, for example, in a year. And so once she uses that, then, she got to come out, basically, is what she's saying. So I think Toya may have had to pay for some of that wine that she donated to the Met Gala, and that may be why she didn't feel the need to also pay the $1,000. And Andy, as we all know, brought up a point in saying, "Hey, but this was you showcasing your wine at the Met Gala, and in it being on TV." Another opportunity that all of these viewers are seeing your wine club on TV, that is a huge marketing opportunity for you. So because you didn't do it, you didn't pay the $1,000. They really want to showcase that much. And so, that's one of the things that Toya had to think about. I still feel that anytime you have an event where you are going to be somewhat of a vendor, vendors do have to pay to secure their table or their spot at an event. It's not unheard of. So the fact that Toya didn't want to pay the $1,000 is a little bit odd. So then, of course, Andy goes to Dr. Heavenly and say, Heavenly, you broadcasted at the Met Gala the whole situation with Toya not paying $1,000. Do you think you were right in doing that? And Heavenly admits, and she will be the first to admit that she is not always right when she do things. Heavenly, in my mind, she the type of person of, say, do it now, apologize later. Yeah, and which she always does. This always happens with Heavenly. So yeah, Heavenly is like, yeah, nah, I probably wasn't right. And Andy poses the question to Jackie because again, Jackie is on mute. She is not saying anything on any topic. Andy actually has to pull Jackie into the conversation. And so Jackie does say that she was being very even keel with it and just saying, yeah, Heavenly could have waited. She should have done it at a different time. So Jackie, in other words, she is saying, yeah, what she said was not right. It was right, but not the right time. So now they have actually turned the conversation over to Jackie and just going over some of her, basically her highlight reel. And, as I was sitting here watching them, I really wasn't going to say too much, but I was wondering if uh, Andy was going to bring up the insensitive comments that Jackie had made because he was going, like I said, he was going over her highlight reel, even when she had the whole conversation with the vice president. So, as she was showing that reel, I was thinking, I wonder if Andy's going to bring up those insensitive comments. And he just did. So Jackie immediately begins to get emotional. I mean, even though the comments happened in 2020, it was relatively recent that this information came out about Jackie and her saying these things that she is just talking about, you know, it was definitely not something that was intended, of course. But then Andy go well. We can see that Heavenly and Phaedra are trying to comfort Jackie at this moment because they're the ones that's sitting right next to her. So they are the ones that's kind of trying to comfort her. And Andy, says to Phaedra was the first person out of all the ladies to step in for Dr. Jackie and to kind of come to her defense. And so Phaedra is saying, she knows what it's like to be canceled or for to have a whole group of people just coming for you relentlessly over one misstep, misspoken word, or one faux pas. Phaedra understands. So Jackie, as she is discussing what happened, she is also saying how every single one of the ladies, reached out to her in one form or another. Simone came to her house every day. Toya called her. Heavenly sent things to her. Phaedra called her. And so Andy said, "What about Quad?" And Jackie said, she didn't hear from Quad, but at the same time, she hadn't heard from Quad in a while. So Jackie definitely made it seem like she understood why Quad did not reach out during that time. So Andy poses the question to Quad: Quad, why didn't you reach out? And Quad is saying, well, let me just start by saying I understand. I went through something similar. And so Andy kind of stops her and says, well, wait, but we just want to know why you didn't reach out to Jackie during this time. And Toya is like right, like why we're not talking about you, Quad. That's the look that Toya has on her face, the disdain that Toya has for Quad. You would think that Quad slept with her man. But I think what Toya has the problem with Quad because Quad has said things about her husband. I don't know, but Toya cannot stand Quad. We just gonna keep that as that. But so Quad is saying, well, Andy is saying the reason why the girls have a problem with you, all the ladies have a problem with you, is because they are saying that you don't know how to show up as a friend. Well, Jackie kind of ends her particular segment as they are, kind of going back and forth about Quad. Jackie does speak up and say, ultimately, I want everybody to know that I care about my patients. I hear them, I listen to them. So she's just really giving one final statement on it. But if y'all recall that once that whole situation came out, a lot of her patients, her former patients, people that Jackie had delivered babies for, were coming out and speaking on how they were treated. So yeah, that's a whole upsetting situation. I don't know Jackie other than what we see on the show, and a lot of us don't know her except for what we see on the show. She seems like she's a good doctor. I mean, even when they show her patients, of course, they're showing the happy ones. So we're not going to see somebody that is having a terrible time with her. So it's kind of difficult being on the outside. And on another note, you guys, I'm just now realizing that Dr. Alicia is not on the stage. Where is Dr. Alicia? Well, now we are back on Quad. I feel like the whole first part one of the reunion has been, the majority of it has been about Quad. And it's about Quad and her relationship with the other ladies. And this whole time I've been trying to figure out, why is the lady so pissed off at Quad? Like, what did she do? She ain't sleep with nobody, man. So I don't know. I kind of feel like whatever it is, y'all ought to be able to get over it because y'all have been friends for 10 years. But so they are kind of going over the things that has transpired with Quad. One of the things is, well, especially with Toya, because I believe Toya is the main one that has such the problem with Quad. And so she's bringing up the fact that, Quad had lied about Toya cheating on her husband, and also calling Toya and her husband thieves or something of the like. Again, I just feel like I don't know. Maybe they really want friends to begin with. So I'm not gonna say Quad was right. Quad is wrong. As a matter of fact, Quad has been apologizing to Toya all season. It seems like every time Quad is on set, it seems like Quad has been trying to apologize, but they are not receiving it. But at the same time, they don't want to receive her apology. They don't want her around, but then they giving her heck about it. And I don't know, Quad, you might have to go ahead on and cut your losses with this group because clearly they don't want you to be a part. They just don't. So Toya does accept Quad's apology, and but at the same time, what she is saying is, I just gotta see because basically she said Quad lies, so we can see going forward. At the same time, we can still see like Simone is having an issue. And even Andy brings again. He has to bring in Dr. Jackie so she can talk, say something. But Andy asked Jackie, her thoughts about the apology, and Dr. Jackie said, these things that you're saying now would have been good to hear when things were going on. They really were not hearing Quad before. And I'm trying not to, I'm trying to be objective here because I really do like Quad and I would hate to see her leave the show. But I do think that Quad has apologized. I don't think that they have accepted it. Toya seems to accept it now in this moment. So anyway, Dr. Jackie was saying it would have been nice to hear your voice, Quad, when I was going through that. Quad says, well, I was talking to Dr. Heavenly and, letting her know that I wanted to reach out. And Heavenly actually told Quad, now it's not a good time because there had been no communication. So in butts in Simone. And Simone is saying, well, why are you talking? Why are you calling Heavenly? And Heavenly says, no, I called Quad. See, everybody got a Quad. Listen, I want you to hear me. These ladies don't want you on the show. They don't want to be your friend. They don't want to hear nothing you have to say. That I believe they are done with you. And you have other friends. So, you might have to, move on to other things because these ladies, they don't want this, not with you anymore. And I will say, what just came out on this reunion, they were talking about Jackie was talking to Quad and Heavenly had actually stepped in and said, no, I reached out to Quad and said, but Heavenly said she reached out to Quad about when that whole YouTube incident with Jackie came out and all the derogatory comments were coming out. Heavenly said that we all thought it was that Quad had a hand in this. And see, once again, I don't know why would Quad do that? I don't even think Quad ever had a problem with Jackie. Ever. Ever. And if I'm mistaken, drop down in the comments and let me know. I don't think Quad ever had a problem with Jackie. So why would Quad leak that video with Jackie saying those comments? That's just odd to me. So Simone and Quad and Phaedra, they're all kind of going back and forth about, Quad not reaching out to the ladies during that time, especially like when Jackie had her situation. And Simone is, she is really going in on Quad. And Phaedra made a comment, even to Quad when all of this was happening in real time, that the phone works both ways. So if y'all not calling Quad, why you upset if Quad is not calling you? So Simone is just saying, it doesn't matter when we're not talking. If we're friends and something happens, I'm going to be there. I'm going to show up for my friend. And even if we're not talking, even if we are not talking, Simone is saying, I will show up. And, Simone says, I can name 3 different occasions where I have shown up for you, even in a situation we really weren't talking. And Andy, of course, asks, well, name a situation. And Simone speaks on the death that Quad had in her family. And Quad is really trying to get her not to say it, for whatever reason. And Simone, you should have not said, you should not have even gone down that road. Andy knew, even though Andy kind of asked you, he was kind of leading you down that road. Simone, you know better. That wasn't cool. It was not right. So now Quad is visibly upset. Phaedra is trying to comfort her. The other ladies are also crying. Jackie's crying. Phaedra's crying. Heavenly is crying. Simone is still talking about, well, I showed up for you when that event happened. I was there for you. I don't know if you got to constantly bring up and throw it in somebody's face that you showed up or you did this good deed for a person. Is it really a good deed? So Simone is continuing to talk to Andy and just is expressing her feelings about Quad and just saying, when the cameras are not rolling, we don't hear from Quad, we don't see Quad. And Quad interjects and said, I just want to, say that, Simone and I fell out a year or so ago. And Quad says, and I don't know why. And during the season that Quad and Simone fell out, Simone did say, and Quad brings it up, Heavenly backs it up during this reunion, that, Simone told Quad, I'm not going to, we just need time. I'm not going to jeopardize my friendship with Toya by, whatever with you, Quad. So, Simone wanted time. And Simone is getting so upset. And she is just saying, I am not going to um, jeopardize my friendship with Toya, because Toya she calls me, she invites me over to her home. Her husband cooks for me, she cooks for me, she is loved on me. Quad doesn't do any of those things. But at the same time, Dr. Heavenly says it so perfectly. But that's not a reason for you to have fallen out with Quad. It's not. Toya and Quad don't have to be friends. But just because Toya and Quad are not friends, it doesn't mean that Simone and Quad can't be friends. Now that's childish, Simone. I mean, that's real childish. Well, part one of the reunion ends with, first of all, Simone yelling in a fit of rage. But at the same time, as they are breaking, Quad is going up to Jackie and saying, Jackie, did you really think that I had anything to do with that YouTube video leak? And Jackie is basically saying she just didn't know. She didn't know what to believe, because all these things were happening. She was getting attacked on the internet. She didn't know what to believe, and because Quad had been silent, she just didn't know. But keep in mind, Heavenly is the one that told, and Heavenly admitted it. Heavenly is the one that said, Quad, no, now is not a good time to reach out to Jackie. And Quad was just doing what she thought was the right thing to do based on what Heavenly told her. Yeah, that's a tough situation, and I hate that happened. But that is the end of reunion part one. We will come back with reunion part two the next time. In the meantime, you guys drop down in the comments and let me know what you guys thought of part one. And also, I will meet you there. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.